Good morning and welcome to We Are Soccer, the show that talks about youth soccer, pro soccer, and everything in between. I'm your host, Craig Hearn. Oh my word, how much soccer. It just never stops, guys. There's so much soccer to get to. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to jam it into this hour show. We'll do our best. All right, so what's coming up today that we're gonna be chatting about? We got England versus Italy in the final of the Euros. We'll see who you have, and then you can hear who we think's going to win and how it's going to go down. Detroit City are NISA champions. Our local pro team, Detroit City, won the NISA championship last weekend, and what a party in Detroit it was. And then I was lucky enough to interview a player who played all 120 minutes of the Nations League final against Mexico. What a player, what an interview. Stick around and you'll find out who that was, because we'll have a few minutes of that interview coming up a little later today. All right, so let's welcome in a person who some of our viewers have dubbed my sidekick. He really doesn't like that tag, so I think he's dubbed himself the bodyguard. Let's welcome in Nate to the show. Nate, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. I'm fine with sidekick.
Yeah.
You know, they like Batman and Robin. You know,
I am definitely Batman.
Yeah, you'd be Batman, and I'd definitely be the Boy Wonder.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
strange to say, but
Yeah, well, you know.
let's go with it.
I brought tights.
And we do sit in the Woodward Sports studio here in Birmingham, and one of the other shows that's on the Woodward Sports Network is the Baligian and Bell show. I believe you made a comment the other day that if it came down to it, you could take Joik Bell, who, for our viewers, just so everybody's aware, is a probably 6'2", 250-pound former NFL player.
And when you adjust for height, we're about the same.
All right.
We're about the same. I'm not obviously 6'2". I'm slightly shorter, more towards the Hobbit end, you know, or the Schreier patch. But I'm mighty for a guy my size, you know, and I'm lean.
All right.
I'm lean.
All
I'm
right.
feisty.
I like it.
And if it came down to it, I got you. I got this here.
All right.
I will defend the honor of We Are Soccer.
Love it. My bodyguard has shown up, and he's pretty witty, too, so we're glad to have him back. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Nate's wife, for letting Nate come out this morning and participate in the show.
Yes.
Big thank you also to our friends who've been with us since day one. I'd like to thank Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars FC, Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage, Superior Family Dental, and Next Level Training with Aaron Bird. Next Level Training, man, I tell you what, those guys are kicking butt this summer at their camps. So make sure you sign up for their camps if you're looking to get your kids out there and train. Big shout out to Aaron at Next Level Training, because Aaron was the one who hooked us up with our interview that we mentioned earlier with U.S. men's national team player and someone who is also on the Gold Cup roster. So he played in the Nations League final, all 120 minutes. He's on the Gold Cup roster. The Gold Cup for the USA starts this week. Any guesses as to who it is? I will tell you shortly. Also, big shout out to my brother-in-law and his wife, Lindsay, on the birth of their new baby boy, Anders. Congrats, guys. Welcome to the family, Anders. All right, let's jump in. We got lots of soccer to talk about and lots we can discuss here. We're going to jump in with World Soccer News, brought to you by Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage. If you're looking to refinance, if you're looking to get a new mortgage, hit up Tim Merritt at Ross Mortgage. He's your guy. All right, so in the finals tomorrow of Euro 2020, we have Italy versus England. But how do we get there is what I want to say. So Italy beat Spain in the semifinals, and England beat Denmark. Both games went into extra time. Both games super close. We won't discuss each game. I'm sure you guys you watched the games. I'm sure you've seen everything that went on with them. There is one clip I would like to kind of talk about. We'll talk about the penalty.
The swimming?
Penalty or no penalty. If you have that clip, Adam, do you think you could play that, please? Take a look at this, guys.
You know.
Do-do-do. Oh, he's breathed on.
Touched.
Oh.
Touched. Penalty.
Oh.
Penalty. Penalty. Come
Wow.
on. Look at this. Full speed. Touched. knocked over. How is
That
that? That's a penalty. That's a clear penalty. So
touched. He's falling forward before he touched him. Weird.
I'm telling
Interesting.
you guys.
And he's going down now. Oh, and then he's touched.
So, as a former player myself and a forward who makes runs into the box at high speed, it is when you're on your toes and you're running with the ball, the slightest knock can take you over. But the defenders, two defenders in that instance, made a mistake. One stuck his leg out and the other put his hip into the player. It went to VAR. VAR said, yep, you're right, referee. It's a penalty. So
that's not what it said, actually.
The VAR looked at it.
Yeah, VAR looked at it, and they said it wasn't because the ref called a penalty that it wasn't decisive for them to overturn it. So the problem was the ref called the penalty. Listen, my issue with this is if this is where the game is going, we have a huge problem. And you're saying, well, as a forward, and I'm saying as a defender, so I'm on the other side of the ball. Yeah, you know what? A little contact happened. Not enough for him to go flying to the ground like that. Is it? Honestly, I don't blame him. I don't blame Sterling. That's the way the game's now being played, and that's part of the problem. And it wasn't like this years ago. It's going the way of basketball. If you remember the old bad boys and what they used to do, the Pistons.
Sure.
Right? And now you look at the game, and a guy gets breathed on, and there you go. He's going to the line to shoot the ball, right? And I'm not a big basketball fan, but that's the way I look at it. And I look at it here and in soccer, how this is happening, and I think it's a big, big issue. Several pundits, several former refs said that contact was not light enough to give a call in that game. I even told you, way before that happened, and another light touch happened, and I said, you don't want the game to end like this. As a great no call, play it. And that's my biggest issue here. Has nothing to do with England. Everyone's like, oh, you just want Denmark to win, blah, blah, blah. That's shit. I don't care. I'm wearing an England jersey. That's fine, because I kind of would like to see them go forward. That means Germany was, not as bad as a team as we thought if they lost against the best team in the tournament. And guess what? I'd win a bit of money. So it's not about that. I don't care. Didn't care who won that game. I wanted to see a good game. And as soon as that happened, I looked at it and went, this game was decided on that? That's how we're doing this now? And it's ruining the game. It is ruining the game. And you can't tell me that this guy hasn't done this before.
I can tell you
that's why the Dino video was funny, right? That's why the Dino video was funny against Scotland, because he did the same damn thing, okay?
I agree.
He did the same, and I don't blame him because that's the gamesmanship now. That's the gamesmanship. And I don't blame the ref because all the pressure and, you got to... I blame the culture we are in now where people look at that and they go, oh, he was killed, murdered in the box. No, he was barely touched. And... It wouldn't have caused anything. But twice. Jesus.
Twice.
Here's the problem. All you England fans, all you England mega fans, here's the problem. That's a penalty? That's a penalty.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's a penalty?
I get it.
And who are you playing next? Who are you playing next?
The masters of the dark arts.
Yeah, the fucking masters of the dark arts, excuse my language. Who, every one of them, every fucking one of them.
He's getting riled up.
Every one of them knows how to do that, and they're better than you at that. So I can't fucking wait. I can't wait for that shit to happen against you, and every England fan throws their arms up. And I'm going to go, really? Really? Because the same shit happened.
Well, all right.
And it's not about England winning. I don't want to see that crap happen at all. At all. Ever.
I can tell you, we are playing the Masters of the Dark Arts.
Sorry,
I can tell you, this isn't.
On this.
There is. Yeah, you owe me $3 for that coffee, by the way.
My bad. That was a double shot, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes, we are playing the Masters of the Dark Arts, Italy, but this isn't your father's or your grandfather's Italy. Italy has minus that last game against Spain. They have been very clean. They haven't been defensive like they usually are. They've been good. The last 20 minutes of that Spain game, they used every tactic in the book.
You mean where Immobile hit the ground like a ton of bricks, laid
yes.
and rolled around there for 5 minutes like he was dying? They scored, popped up, ran around, and then the Italian captain went, well, you know, scoring goals has a strange effect on you.
You took the words out of my mouth. Also, I mean, Italy tried to win a penalty. The guy, Immobile, the forward, stayed down. Wait. They scored a goal, and then magically he's cured. I get it. I get it. Both teams have done it. Both teams have tried it, and I get it. And yes, that's the way this game has gone. We could talk about this all day. I will say I have been, let's say you take the bottom 10% and the top 10% of calls out. I think this has been one of the best refs tournaments in years. And I will also go as far to say that VAR has worked like it should. Again, minus the bottom 10% and the top 10%. You take that 80%. This has been the best tournament and the best use of VAR. I hope Premiership referees and the Football Association are watching this and looking to see how VAR is supposed to be used, because it has been very, very well reffed. And yes, we have the final tomorrow, Italy versus England at Wembley. I really hope it continues that the VAR gets used properly and that we can see a nice, clean game. And if there are dives, they aren't called, or they're called and the call's going the other way, right? I can see the game tomorrow being cleaner. I can see the game. I can see the referees doing it right. There might be a call here and there.
And VAR wasn't, as far as what I read and understand, VAR wasn't the issue here. It wasn't the issue. The issue was the ref actually giving the call. VAR actually did the right thing by not overturning it. It has to be definitive.
Yes.
Right? So the issue goes in is the soft call. Sorry, it was soft. Not my language, actually. Several other people have said it soft, smarter than me, more prominent than me. That was the problem. Right?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to ask you a serious question here. You got Stones, you got Maguire, you got Luke Shaw, you got Kyle Walker versus Immobile and some other dudes, right, that like to, I'm not going to go on forever, that like to, do the same thing. Are you going to sit there and tell me that it's not out of the realm of impossibility for something similar or even worse to happen?
It is definitely not out of the possibility, the realm of possibility for that to happen, because it is Italy, and we do have a fast defender on England, and
they got fast players,
clumsy player. It could very well happen.
And if turnabout is fair play, and the same thing happens, are you honestly going to go, hey, well, yeah.
To be honest, no, I won't, because was it a soft penalty? You know what? Let's call it a soft penalty against Raheem Sterling, but still a penalty in my opinion.
No, you can't have that be. That's my point, though. You can't have that be the deciding factor of a game like this.
Agreed.
And that's my issue.
But okay.
And I don't honestly. Don't get me wrong. I don't want that to happen against Italy and England. I'm hoping it doesn't.
I don't think it will, because of the amount of attention that's come down on this penalty and on the Immobile no call, right?
So I don't think they care.
I don't think either team cares, but who does care is the Referees Association. So I think there will be.
We'll see.
I guarantee, that call. If something like that happens in the game tomorrow, the referee probably will not call it, and then it will go to VAR, and then he will have to go and take another look at it. I think they're going to be very, very.
Here's my problem: they go, well, that was the same thing that happened in the game before. Now it's the same.
No, they won't do that.
It's precedent now. It's precedent now. We'll see. That's my issue with this. It builds and it goes and it gets worse and worse.
And if England allow themselves into that position, like Denmark allowed Raheem Sterling into that position, then fair play, right? So I think, just so everybody in the Metro Detroit area knows, Soccer is going to be at the Dow in Birmingham tomorrow, along with the Red Devils. And Finesse Clothing. We are hosting an event at the Dow, so come on out and join us for the game. Italy versus England, Euro Final, the Dow in Birmingham, Michigan. 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll be there probably about 2 o'clock, so come on and join, have some beers, join us. It'll be fun. Let's talk about the game for tomorrow.
Is Finesse Clothing going to have any shirts for me to wear?
They may. Yes, they will have shirts for sale. So very nice clothing brand, by the way. I've checked them out. Very clean and love.
Too rich for my blood.
Yeah. Maybe you get a discount. I don't know. We'll see. They might charge you double.
Yeah.
All right, keys for tomorrow's game. Obviously, everybody really wants to know what lineup Southgate's going to come out with. Is he going to come out with 5 in the back? Is he going to come out defensive? I honestly think he's going to come out with the very similar lineup to what he put out against Germany, where you've got Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips in the middle. You kind of sit 7 and then do a little bit of a counter. But we all know that Italy have done most of their damage in this tournament on the counterattack because of how quick they are. I'm expecting a very similar lineup to what Southgate put out against Germany. I'm not expecting Grealish to come in until about the 60th minute. Rumors today are circling that Phil Foden has picked up a knock and missed the final training for England, so we're not sure if he's going to make the bench at all. You know the regulars are going to be in there. Sterling and Kane will be up top. I don't think the old back line of Italy can handle 90 minutes of Sterling. So that's going to be interesting to see. What do you see as keys to the game tomorrow, Nate?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't change anything in your lineup. Go with what you got. What got you here, and they played really well against Denmark. So why I wouldn't tinker with anything. I would go exactly the way you've been playing, unless there's outside of injury or fatigue or anything like that. Go with what you got here, and I think Calvin Phillips in the middle is going to be a key to this game.
Yep.
I think he's had a great tournament, and I see him as being that deciding factor of really preventing that quick counter attack that Italy has. I have a different opinion about Italy's back line. I think they're very good, and I think that experience is gonna play through for them. I think they're gonna hold back a little bit like Spain, and yeah, like you said, look to beat you on the counterattack going forward, going quick, and hopefully England's back line can stay stable against faster attacking players than I think they've never seen in this tournament so far.
I agree with you.
Or haven't seen in this
I think Italy are more than willing to give up possession. They're more than willing to let England have 60, 70% of the possession, sit back and break out on the counter. England have some pretty quick defenders, right? So obviously Kyle Walker has to be one of the fastest people on the field no matter who's on the field, because that dude at 31 years old is just unbelievably fast. He is, in my opinion, one of the keys to stop that counterattack. But he also likes to get forward and get into space and cross the ball. So I think Italy are going to try to take advantage of that. As soon as they see Kyle Walker get up into the play and try to get on to cross the ball into those forwards, as soon as the ball is cleared, Italy is then going to break down his line or the opposite line and take advantage of that. Because on the opposite side is Luke Shaw, who's quick, but not Kyle Walker quick.
So the only downside I see is Italy has played teams that have fast, quick, and very good players, attacking players. Belgium, Spain, even though they couldn't hit, a lot of things, but they're still fast, quick, and play well. England hasn't played in this tournament a team that has a good forward lineup like Italy. Germany, especially outside the knockout stage. Germany, lacking attacking talent for sure, lacking a forward, was going into the tournament. Ukraine, Ukraine really didn't have any type of threatening forward. And Denmark, they had a couple guys, but not like Italy. So I think Italy has a bit of an advantage for that. But I think England's big advantage that nobody really talks about as much is the bench. And you saw it against Denmark. When things start, going a certain way, they can bring in quality players off their bench that I don't think Italy has the same. So I think England definitely has that bench where they can bring in Grealish, Sancho, Rashford. Some of these guys, you go, why aren't they getting the playing time? But that's why they're there, to kind of come in and change the game.
They're game changers for sure. That's part of the reason.
That's a huge advantage.
That's part of the reason Grealish, I think, doesn't start a lot of these games is because Gareth Southgate's using him as that game changer in the 60th, 65th minute when the legs of those defenders are tired because Raheem Sterling and Kane have been running around them for 60 minutes. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, great, now here comes a guy who loves to dance on a ball and is quick and can do some damage. I think this game is going to be close, as any final is. Even when you have one very good team, one poor team, if it's a final, the playing field's leveled out, and there's going to be a tight game, right? This is going to be a very tight game. It could go either way. There could be a bad call, could be a good call, and this could be a 1-0 or a 2-1 game. I don't know. Either way, I can tell you right now from what I've heard from folks in England, people are just happy to have an England team that is represented well, that has played very well, and is finally in the final of a tournament for the first time in 55 years. Kind of stumbled over my words there. England haven't been to a major tournament final in 55 years. The country right now is buzzing. They are just overjoyed with being where they're at. I hope the players understand that, hey, we're just happy they got there. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's been a great ride. As long as we don't get slaughtered 3-0 in the final, I think everybody will be happy and everybody go home happy. Having England actually win would really top it off. With that being said, why don't we get a small prediction from our group here? Nate, why don't you go first? Who do you predict is going to win tomorrow, and give me a score?
Well, hurts me to say it, but I get over it. It's coming home.
Yes, there it is.
It's coming home.
It's coming home.
I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be decided in regulation, and I think it's going to go into 120. I
think it's going 120,
I think it's going to be 120. I think it's going to be close. I could see a 1-1 going into 120 and then it ending 2-1.
All right, I like that. All right, Adam, what you got, buddy? Who's winning and what's this? Give me a score.
All right, well, first of all, the Facebook chat thinks Italy is going to win. 75% of the people that have voted on the poll have chosen Italy. England's the better team. Yep. They have the more talented attacking front. That's clear. Midfield, I'd say, is pretty even. Back four is what will cause England to lose. I'm going to take Italy. You have Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire. Your goalie is Jordan Pickford. That is a mistake waiting to happen. And he's gotten away with many mistakes. Let's keep in mind.
Like
Jordan
when he rolled
Pickford.
the ball out.
He has not been punished yet. I know he has this amazing clean sheet record that's been rolling this entire tournament, but it's false. It's actually teams have not been able to finish their chances against England, and all Italy needs to do is score 1 or 2 goals, and this game is going to be more than likely over for England.
So you're going Italy. All right.
I'm sorry.
You want to put a... no, I get it. Good...
I'll buy Birmingham roast for the next month if England wins for you.
Ooh,
Fair?
I like that. All right. I love it. Birmingham roast right next door. We get our coffee and tea from them every morning. Give me a score prediction, Adam. What are we thinking score-wise? What do you got?
That's a good question. I'm going to say you're going to have a 2-1 final, Italy.
Okay.
But honestly, 2-0 wouldn't surprise me either.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. So we've got 2-1 or 2-0 for Italy. Adam's predicting. Nate is predicting 2-1 to England in 120 minutes. I am actually I'm predicting a 2-1 scoreline as well. I think I'm going to agree with you, Nate. I think it goes 120 minutes. I think it's 1-1 at the end of full time. England then come out for that 30 minutes of extra period time and just take it to Italy. Italy will be tired from all the defending they've done. I think the ball gets put in the back of the net by England and win it 2-1 in 120 minutes. So let's hope that you and I are right.
All goals from Jackie Grealish.
Yes. No, I think Kane.
6-0 England. Grealish, man.
If that happens,
look at how bright. You can zoom in his face.
If that happens,
look how bright. This is the idea of that. Jack Grealish
winning it all. What he's saying.
Oh, look, you get ear to ear. I've never seen a grin that big.
To be fair to Nate's point, The last time Italy were in a Euro final, Spain absolutely embarrassed them. So that's not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, you could go last time that Denmark got as far as they won. They went all the way too. I mean, history is what it is.
Right.
You know,
it's a big game tomorrow, folks. I'm sure. There'll be hundreds of millions of people, if not a billion people in the world watching. Make sure you tune in. And like I said, if you're in the Metro Detroit area, come down to Dick O'Dowd's, the Dow in Birmingham, Michigan, and join us to watch the game. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of Italian followers and a lot of English followers, so it should be a fun time. All right, let's jump ahead. There's another big final happening this weekend. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of. So in other world soccer news brought to you by Superior Family Dental, we have tonight the Copa America Final. We have Argentina versus Brazil, or as a lot of people are dubbing, Messi versus Neymar. All right. I know a lot of people probably haven't paid attention to Copa America in the last couple of weeks because of the Euros and how dominant that's been. But Copa America has been humming along, and I've watched a lot of the games. It's been very entertaining. Some of the unfortunate pieces that have happened are the fields they're playing on. They're just not good fields. We also know that South American soccer is very lacking in defense and lots of rolling around in the ground. A lot of Neymar-esque type stuff.
There's a lot of anger, though.
There's so much anger in these games. So much anger in these games. But what I will say is some of the games have been really entertaining. I've watched a lot of the Argentina games. I've watched a lot of the Brazil games. Brazil have dominated. They look really good. Neymar he's on his game right now. They got Douglas Luiz in the middle, Aston Villa player. He's playing really well. Junior Vinicius Jr. can't even get on the pitch right now for Brazil. They have a lot of stars. Thiago Silva's playing really well. So they're playing against who I like to call the GOAT, one of the best players of all time, Messi. He has not won an international tournament with Argentina, so tonight is his chance to lift that cup. In the semifinal game, they took Colombia to penalties, and the hero was Emiliano Martinez. Emi Martinez, the Aston Villa goalie, stood up, and in that penalty shootout, saved 3 of 5 penalties. He was absolutely amazing. Were you able to watch that?
I watched the penalties. I didn't think. I thought a couple of those were pretty bad shots, but you got to save them.
Yeah, you got to save them. Not only do you have to save them, you got to guess which way they're going, right?
Yep. As Italy proved, you don't need to have an amazing shot. You just got to place it right. And
that Jorginho penalty was class, and everybody knows he does that little hop. But in the Argentina-Colombia game, Emi Martinez was trash talking a lot of the shooters, penalty shooters for Colombia. Man, oh man,
there was air humping. And it was great.
That was a little awkward, I'll be honest. But he was caught on camera telling the players, as they're standing over the ball ready to shoot, he's like, "I'm going to eat you up. I know which way you're going."
Yep.
He was caught on camera saying this, and it worked. It absolutely worked, because as a goalie, I don't know if you know this, guys, but as a goalie in a penalty shootout, you ask your goalie, please, just save one. Just save one. We're hoping they miss one, and then we can put 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 in the net and win, right? He saved 3, but the only thing he's got is, I'm going to trash talk. I'm going to get into your head as a shooter. And I'm sorry, he proved right there he can. It's already been said, he can mind fuck people, these shooters. So Emi Martinez is one of the best keepers in the world right now. And yes, he plays for my team, Aston Villa. We did a poll on the We Are Soccer Facebook group. He did not finish first, but he was a close second. I will say that. He is one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the world right now, though.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Top 5?
Yep. Absolutely, 100%.
I think I could name top five goalkeepers off my head. That might be better than him.
I don't think you know what you're talking about. So
I think Mitch knows what he's talking about, and Mitch said you were wrong.
Yes, so just so everybody knows, Mitch Hildebrand, former MLS goalkeeper,
you're right.
Chimed in on our chat and poll. He did say that he didn't think Emi Martinez was the best in the world at the moment, but he did say He is in the top 5 or 10, I believe, something like that.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying I think I could name five that deserve that spot over him. That's just. I mean, he's only 3rd in the Premier League. When you look statistics, when you look at statistics and everything, I can't say statistics. Yeah, there you go. He's not number 1. So.
That's because Ederson is number 1, and he plays in with a back line of Stones and Walker. I mean, that helps. But we could go all day. We could have a whole segment on goalkeepers, and I think in the upcoming weeks,
Mings was really good.
Mings and Konsa are brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
They're brilliant until you say they're not brilliant because
you've put me in an awkward spot, Nate.
I did.
So we're gonna skip ahead. Something we want to chat about real quick is the upcoming Gold Cup for the USA men's team. Gold Cup kicks off tomorrow night. USA take on Haiti. All right, so earlier in the show, you heard me say We Are Soccer interviewed a U.S. men's national team player who is going to be playing in tomorrow's game and played in the Nations League final against Mexico. So just to recap, the Nations League final was played about a month ago against Mexico in Denver, I believe it was. USA won 3-2, and what a phenomenal game it was. Penalties, VAR decisions, the game had it all. Aaron Bird and Next Level Training have a hookup. They hooked us up here at We Are Soccer, and we were lucky enough to interview one Kellen Acosta. And I can tell you right now, such a humble dude, such an awesome, passionate player. It was a joy to interview him and talk to him. I talked to him a little bit after the interview as well. Man, I tell you what, guys, make sure you follow him on Twitter, follow him on Instagram. Very good dude. I know, Nate, you're a big fan of his.
I'm very angry about this interview because
you weren't invited.
I'm a huge fan, and the fanboy kind of took over when I found out about it, and instantly called you and talked like for a good 10, 15 minutes, and then cried.
Well, I apologize. There wasn't enough room on the Zoom call for another person. Let's just go with that excuse. Adam, if you could do me a favor, could you show us a quick clip from that interview? Piece of silverware, but I'm still on cloud 9 from the Nations League final victory over Mexico. You and the team were absolutely phenomenal, and it was such an entertaining game for us fans. What was it like playing in that game, man?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty crazy. I mean, the game had a bit of it all. Had goals, and had the chippiness of a big rivalry. Fans throwing things to VAR decision. It was. I mean, everything you kind of wish for as a fan, a spectator in a final. I mean, maybe not us as players because there was just so much anxiety going on and what calls going which way, scoring. It was a lot though, but it was definitely exciting times, and obviously it's a lot sweeter when you get to beat your rival in the final.
Absolutely. Have you played against Mexico? You might not have played in that level of a game, right? But have you played against them before, and has it been like that chippy? It's always chippy, right? It's always a good
I mean, definitely. But I think it's a little bit different when you have something at stake and you're playing for some silverware. But I think it's also a pride thing and bragging rights. Yep. And so, I mean, every game is a battle and a fight. But this game, it meant a little bit more because, like I said, at the end of the day, you want to win. You want to win something and hold up a trophy. And so that's why it makes it a little bit sweeter.
Absolutely. I'll be honest. Like, we had a group of guys here at my house watching the game, and it was nuts. That letting a goal in the first minute kind of put a little bit of a sour note on it at the start. But, man, credit to you guys and the way you guys came back and really got back into that game. Like I said, it's been a month or so now, or whatever it's been since, and we're still, there's us casual fans, we're still talking about it, and we're still kind of going through things. And man, it was so fun to watch. I can only imagine, like we were talking about, how bad or how interesting and nerve-wracking it was for you guys on the field. It had a little bit of everything, which was awesome. So the Gold Cup roster, it's a little bit different from the Nations League roster that they had. How are preparations going for the Gold Cup, and what are you guys looking forward to? As you have a game this Sunday, correct?
Correct. Yeah, for me it's been a little bit different. I just got here yesterday, So the group of guys have been here since Monday, but I showed up late because I played with a game in Colorado on Wednesday. But as it's shaping up, I mean, it's going to be a great test for all of us. I mean, big game, first game versus Haiti. And I mean, we take it game by game, but yeah, it's gonna be a great test. I mean, some of these guys are newer to the team, so get a taste of the international exposure and the level, and it's an opportunity for us to lift up another piece of silverware.
All right, what an awesome interview with Kellen Acosta. I'm telling you right now, guys, the rest of that interview is hot. It's fire. He is such an awesome dude and was willing just to sit down and chat. He flew in to Kansas City 2 days ago to join up with the U.S. men's national team after playing with the Colorado Rapids on Sunday and then Wednesday. He plays tomorrow against Haiti in the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup roster that Greg Berhalter has chosen has taken a little bit of flack over the last week or two because apparently he hasn't picked the star players, right? Listen, I'm telling you right now, there's a reason he hasn't picked Pulisic, McKinney, Dest, right? Reyna. It's because those clubs that they play for in Europe don't want them to play in the Gold Cup. They let them come back and play in the Nations League, but those players need time off. They need a couple weeks to let their body heal from the long season they've just gone through in Europe. Let's take Pulisic, for instance. He played all season for Chelsea, went all through the Champions League, played in the Champions League final, and then just flew over here, jumped in and played in the Nations League games with the U.S. team. There's no way Chelsea were going to let him do training with the U.S. men's national team and then play in Gold Cup games because guess what? The season starts August 7th. We're at July 10th right now, all right? Gold Cup goes for another 3 weeks. What, he's going to have a week off in a year? That's not going to work. Chelsea were never going to allow that, just like Juventus were going to allow that for McKinney, and Barcelona weren't going to allow that for Dest. So Berhalter did the best he could, and I really, really like the players he's chosen for the Gold Cup roster. Just to name a few, obviously we got Kellen Acosta on there, Sebastian Leggett. He has, who else we got? Paul Areola, Daryl Dike. Listen, we got Zardes in there. There's some good players on this squad, and a lot of them are MLS based. It's time to get these young players kind of blooded in, get them some playing time into this in the national team, see the setup. I'm expecting them to progress through the stages and into the final, but stop giving Greg Berhalter and the U.S. men's national team flack for the group that they've selected. Nate, anything you want to kind of chime in with? Because I know you're a huge fan of the roster and what's going on here.
A smart coach said once, instead of thinking about why is this happening to you, why is this happening for you? Change your mindset, right? And to be honest with you, having a large player pool and knowing what players can do is a good thing. So I think it's, even though you're not going to get some of the stars, if you will, I hate to even use that word because they're all stars. It's very hard to play for a national team. But even though some of your marquee names, we'll use that better word, have to go back to Europe, I think it's a great opportunity for the other guys to get the playing time that they need on a national team and for Berhalter to assess what they can do. So that way, if, I don't know, McKennie gets a knock in Juventus and you have an important match coming up, you're not scratching your head going, I don't know who to replace him with. There was other national team coaches in the past that didn't do this. They called the same guys in over and over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden somebody got hurt and everyone would go, well, we don't have a right back now. Or we don't have a left mid now because so-and-so's hurt. Well, now you got a roster pool of players, and you know what they can do. And now you had the National League, and you had the marquee names, if you will, playing. You saw what they could do. They're going to go back. Now you have another tournament, and you can bring in these guys to see what they can do. And I think that's great. And I'm excited to see Acosta. I'm excited to see Yuval. I like them a lot, both them in the mid. I'm excited to see DK. I'm excited to see more. Some of these guys are not going to get the time at this moment, or might have not gotten the time over, Adams, McKennie and some of these other guys in these tournaments. So now it's their time to go out there and show what they can do. And that doesn't mean that they're less. I don't view it that way. I view it as they're just not the name or the flavor right now on everyone's mind.
Right.
So now they can go out there and show that they're not vanilla, maybe show that they're a little bit chocolate or rocky road, if you will.
Ooh, I like that. But you bring up a good point. You know, you can't keep playing those marquee players, we'll call them, because again, they are playing at the highest level in Europe, and if they pick up a knock, and they can't all of a sudden jump into some of the qualifying games you have coming up, and the USA, once the Gold Cup is done, do have big games coming up in the fall, so you got to know who the second, third, fourth string players are in certain positions. So I really like the fact that these players are getting playing time. And I was an opponent of the hire of Greg Berhalter when it happened. But I said I'm going to give him time, and I think he's done a very good job. I think he put out a really strong team, and I think he played really well. Played a really good team and a real good formation against Mexico in that Nations League final. And I'm going to give him kudos to the lineup he's got, the roster he's got here. And I have no doubt the Gold Cup will, the USA will advance through the knockout rounds, into the semifinals and final. Whether they win it, I don't know, but either way, I think Greg Berhalter is going to learn a lot about some of these guys that he doesn't get to see a lot of. The only way the USA national team is going to get better is if stuff like this happens. So, yes.
To be honest, I was not a fan of the Berhalter hire at all. I'm slowly starting to become a fan. I'm not 100% there yet. I'm slowly starting to become a fan. I'm slowly starting to like what is doing. And the other thing with the Gold Cup is I believe after the group stage you can reconfigure your roster. I think that's still a thing. And so they might be able to bring some of these guys back in after they get by the powerhouses of Canada, Haiti,
and Martinique.
and whoever.
Saint Martinique,
so
yes.
when they start actually playing some of those, because, you know, the top three advance, I believe, if memory serves me right. So once they get to those harder nations in our area, I believe they can bring in some of those players to help.
Great.
If the clubs let them go, and if maybe they don't, maybe things are going so smooth and the chemistry is there, they say nope, because you don't want to bring in a name and mess up your chemistry.
Right. I hope he sticks with the roster he's got. I hope he sticks with the lineups he's got, and he'll learn a lot. And we'll see how they do in the coming weeks. We'll be chatting about those games. So, like we said, they play Sunday, they play Thursday, and then they play the following Sunday. So, lots of soccer coming up for our U.S. men's national team. Be sure to tune in and watch as our buddy there, Kellen Acosta, is on the squad and will most likely get some good playing time. Check out the rest of his interview there with We Are Soccer, where it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on YouTube, it's on all of our social channels. In that interview, he kind of gives a little bit of a hint about what he wants his career and how he wants it to move forward. So where does he want to be playing in the next couple of years? And then also he mentions what he picks up from Christian Pulisic during training, and how he kind of watches some of those guys who are playing in Europe. So go ahead and give that the interview a watch. It's a very good one. So thank you again to Aaron Bird and Next Level Training for the hookup there. Yes, Aaron Bird and Next Level Training do train the pros. So we may have another interview coming next week with a big name, another big name. So fingers crossed. Once that happens, we'll let you know. All right, we're going to jump into one of my new favorite segments we have. We're going to do buy or sell. So what is buy or sell? Well, I'm going to throw out a topic or two to Nate here, and he's going to tell me whether he's buying it or selling it, and then we'll discuss. All right, so here we go with buy or sell. Just so everybody knows, Barcelona, yes, the Barcelona are in big trouble. They are over a billion. It sounded like what was the Austin Powers movie there?
$1 billion.
They're over €1 billion in debt, and currently they need to cut €200 million from their wage bill. So they have to sell players and then lower the salaries of a lot of their players. For example, they just signed Memphis Depay to a contract. Hasn't even played a game with them yet, and his salary has been reduced from $7 million to $5 million.
Now, how is he going to afford food?
I have heard that argument. Don't get me wrong. I've heard that argument. But you signed him a month ago, 3 weeks ago, to a contract of $7 million, and now all of a sudden you're saying, "Hey, sorry, we're gonna have to cut your salary." Hasn't even kicked a ball for them yet. So, are you buying the Barcelona are in big trouble here, and they're gonna have to sell their players, or are you just gonna say, "Nah, it's no big deal"?
I am buying this like I buy soda water at the gas station in abundance, because it's awesome and I think it's hilarious. You have a team that has 8 forwards. Mm-hmm. You have a team that loaned out Coutinho out to Munich, who won the Champions League, and then Munich wanted to keep him, and they brought him back to sit him down. So you get what you deserve here. It's right. Awesome. Right. So the only question I have is, how are they going to get out of this? And I have a feeling that they're going to do something sneaky and not have to sell a bunch of players and somehow have the football world going, "You just did what now?"
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this before, right? We've seen Real Madrid get around this before. We've seen Manchester City get around this before. They will find a way. So just so everybody's aware, Messi right now is a free agent. He hasn't signed a contract. He can go and play anywhere in the world because he's untied to, he's not attached to a team. We all 100% fully expect him to re-sign with Barcelona, but at the moment he can't. La Liga will not register him to play for Barcelona because they are so far over what they're allowed to spend. So just so everybody's aware, La Liga has, we'll call it a salary cap in place for each team for the upcoming season. And again, Barcelona are over that, so they need to cut their wage bill. They have to sell players on the cheap just to get rid of them. They've got to cut their wages, and then they can start to re-sign some of these players. I believe there's 6 players they've signed this summer or need to sign, and they actually can't. So Barcelona will find a way. There's no way Barcelona are going to start the new La Liga season without Messi, without Depay, without Aguero. They will find a way. They'll get slapped on the wrist, I'm sure, but it's one to keep your eyes on. All right, next buy or sell topic. Sergio Ramos signs a 2-year deal at PSG. He's 36. Are you buying or selling this as a good deal for PSG?
For PSG, I'm buying this. Yep. Like I buy lots of meats at the deli. I think it's a good fit for him. He's going to a league that, I hate to say, not to take anything out of PSG in the French league, but it's not that,
Oh, I 100%
physical.
Agree. It is not a good league.
It's less competitive. Yeah. They can use him in maybe bigger matches. They can use him more sparingly. He doesn't have to be the starter. They can just roll him out for the Champions League. I think it's a good move for them.
I agree. I think it's a good move for them. I think it's a great move for Sergio Ramos. Like you said, he's going to a little bit of a slower league. It's a 2-team league. And then he can be sat for some of the kind of the games that aren't quite as important, and then he can jump into the Champions League games. He instantly becomes the leader of that team and should be put as a captain. I'm buying that as a great deal for both sides. Buying or selling Ethan Horvath, the U.S. men's national team goalkeeper, the savior for the U.S. men's national team in that Nations League final, to Fulham. Good move for Ethan Horvath to Fulham there?
I am buying this like I buy supplements from my supplement company that I get all my supplements from. I was going to name drop, but they're not a sponsor yet.
They're not a sponsor.
So no, but I like your supplements. Anyways, yeah, I love it. I think it's a good move for him. Right. He's going overseas. He's going for a team that he could be a starter for, and I think he's going to do great. Well, he is already overseas. Sorry, so he's moving up from where he is into a more competitive league, and I think it's a very good move for him, and I think he'll still be a starter for a team that he's moving up for and progressing.
Fulham are in the championship. Yep. And the championship is a slog of a season. Mm-hmm. It's 46 games, league games. It is a tough league to play in, but I think with how young he is, this is a great move. I think it's a great move on Fulham's part. So good luck to Ethan Horvath at Fulham. I know we'll be keeping our eyes on him. Buying or selling Indiana Vassilev on loan to Inter Miami. So before I kind of ask your opinion there, just so everybody's aware, Indiana Vassilev is an American player. He's 20 years old.
Oh.
He has been at Aston Villa for the last couple of years. He broke into their first team 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Hasn't played much. He's kind of regressed. And now Aston Villa have loaned him out to Inter Miami in the MLS. Buying or selling this move as a whole for players, young players going to the MLS to try to get playing time?
It's a good thing you clarified that, because I thought we were talking about where I vacationed last weekend in Indiana. So thanks.
No.
Thanks for breaking that. No, I think even though MLS schedule, I have my issues with it, I think this is the one thing that it works in their favor of playing during the off times of the other leagues. And I think it's a great move for Inter Miami. I think it's a great move for Villa. Just like when MLS stars go over to England or wherever, and during their off season, I think it's a great move back and forth. So I see nothing. I'm buying it like fireworks that I bought for the 4th of July, and I think it's great for everyone.
I love it. All right, last one for buy or sell. Olivier Giroud moves to AC Milan. For me, brilliant move for AC Milan. Buying or selling, good move for Olivier Giroud.
I'm selling.
Okay.
I'm selling, or rather not buying it like I don't buy sugary, delectable treats at the store. Nobody overturns Zlatan. Nobody.
I think it's a good move for him in the fact that he'll get a lot of playing time, but I think he still had a lot to offer for the Premiership. He was sold for €1 million by Chelsea. He was going to be the third or fourth string at Chelsea. We know this, but I think he could have done a job for, and I hate to bring it up again, but he could have done a job for Aston Villa, like a team that is pushing for top 6. That's a whole other discussion.
Can we
Nate,
just
I
pick
get it.
any other mid-round? Why not Leeds?
What about Spurs?
Spurs.
What about Spurs?
Yeah.
I mean, he
Actually,
would have done a great
that's a good
job.
point.
He could have stayed in London.
That's a great point, because they are likely losing Harry Kane.
Right.
That
And
would've
even
been-
maybe Heung-min Son. So
Yeah.
I'm selling that. I'm not buying that one. I'm selling that one. So anyway, all right, that concludes buy or sell here on We Are Soccer. I want to kind of jump in here real quick. Local pro soccer team Detroit City FC last weekend won the NISA Championship, and what an absolute party it was. What a brilliant game. They played the LA Force. Detroit City FC won 1-0. An own goal there by LA Force. Tight match. Detroit City FC dominated the game in possession, dominated in chances, just couldn't put the ball in the net. So LA Force did it for them. Met a lot of good people over at NISA. It's a great league. It was a great party in Detroit. So congratulations to Detroit City FC. It's been so fun covering them this season. What a squad they have. Just players that are just, man, undefeated season so far. But just because they won the championship doesn't mean the season's over. They kick off the second part of their season this upcoming week. So they play at home this Wednesday against FC Buffalo, July 14th. Get your tickets at debtcityfc.com. Detroit City also have a women's team. The women play tonight, Saturday night, at Keyworth Stadium. It's the final game of their season, so they are done after tonight. They play against Lansing United. Lansing United beat them 2-1 last week. So, folks, if you're in the Metro Detroit area, you're looking for some fun tonight, get out and get to Keyworth Stadium to watch the Detroit City FC women play. So fun. There's beer truck, there's food trucks, beer gardens, great skills on display, lots of fun. We Are Soccer will be out there. So get out tonight. Your tickets can be purchased at the gate or debtcityfc.com. That's DETcityFC.com to get your tickets for that. I want to quickly show, this past week I did a segment with a popular reporter in the Birmingham, England area. He is the Aston Villa correspondent for Birmingham Live. One Mr. Ashley Priest. Ashley Priest. Follow him on Twitter. Go ahead and look him up. Awesome dude, in the know. He is very knowledgeable about Aston Villa, the comings and goings of the Premiership. He works for, like I said, Birmingham Live, which is a major publication over there in England. Good dude. We'll play a small snippet of the interview I did with Ashley Priest. When you're ready, Adam, go ahead and play that, please.
One of the star men who's been sat on the bench, unfortunately, is Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. I have a lot of people contacting me every day saying he's going to City. He's going to City. I mean, what are you hearing? It's the rumored £100 million move to Man City. What are you hearing about Grealish and that move?
Yeah, I mean, it come about 2 weeks ago now. It's all a done deal. Basically, they're premature reports, really, false reports. Nothing's been discussed until after Jack finishes the Euros this coming Sunday, so he'll have a holiday. Man City interest is genuine. I think we all get that, but there's been no bid, no discussions that have taken place. I think Man City's priority is Harry Kane, so that helps Villa's hand. But in terms of Grealish, he's speaking to me now as a Villa reporter. I think he stays. I'm pretty sure of that, to be honest. I think the owners have a big say in that, like they did last summer when he sat down with Nassef Suarez and Purslow, and he believed in the project. And come on, I mean, last season was great. Okay, he ended up finishing 11th. But before Grealish's injury, there were 6 points off the top four. So it's just been such a rise. I know it didn't finish as the way we all hoped last season, given the start, but it's been progress every year. They're on an upward trajectory. There's this 5-year plan that's in place that Christian Purslow has spoken about. And we're going into the 4th year of that. And this season promised to be a big one. Villa have already spent big, haven't they? Emi Buendia, he's come in on a club record transfer. It will complement Grealish. We'll have Watkins in there. Villa trying, pushing hard for Emile Smith-Rowe at Arsenal. 2 bids rejected already. We'll see what happens with that one. But like I say, Villa made business with the owners, and I think on course to have another standout season. And European football's the aim. I fully believe Jack Grealish will be here. He'll believe in the project. Fans will be turning again. He want to prove himself across the 38-game season. And listen, yeah, I think all this England, the Euros is quite interesting, isn't it? Because obviously before, you've got to play for a big team to be in the England setup and this, that, and the other. But obviously, Phil Foden not getting much game time, so that rubs out that myth. So listen, I think Grealish stays, Craig. I really do. There's a contract offer on the table for him, an improved deal, and that's what Villa do. They reward the best players, and I think he'll sign it. A lot can happen though, Craig. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, of course.
Right.
But yeah, he'll have some time off, Grealish.
All right, that interview with Ashley Priest. The rest of the interview can be found on the We Are Soccer social channels on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. You can find it there on our channels. Such a good dude. Ashley Priest, he's in the know. He's interviewed Villa players. He's in the press conferences. He goes on to talk about, whether Jack Grealish stays or goes. Grealish and the national team. He talks about some of the younger players that Villa are bringing in. He talks about the bids the Villa have had turned down for Emile Smith-Rowe, the young Englishman at Arsenal. He talks about a few other things. So if you're a Villa fan or just a fan of the Premiership, go ahead and give that a view, and then give Ashley a follow on Twitter and on Facebook. Good dude, very knowledgeable, and just loves to talk soccer. I want to kind of show some pictures here from a bachelor party. And before I start getting hate mail, I know you're not supposed to show pictures from bachelor parties. I get it. But these pictures are one of our former co-hosts for a week was Joe Carver, a good friend of the show. He went down to Miami and participated in a bachelor party for one of his buddies. Check this out.
This is legendary stuff.
Oh my gosh.
This is awesome. I know a couple of these guys, and they're all good guys.
Man. Does that not look like the most epic bachelor party? So these guys dressed up as soccer players. They went out on the town in Miami dressed like this to the bars. So awesome.
And hats off for Joe for representing U.S. soccer.
Yeah,
there.
So that's Joe down in the middle there representing. He's the Lexi Lawless lookalike. But I mean, man, you got Terry Butcher, you've got Gascoigne, you've got Colin Hendry, you've got Hendrik Larsson, Baggio. Unbelievable. So Joe and the boys who went down to Miami for the bachelor party, epic. I am just, I'm very jealous. I really, who would you have dressed up as if you could have attended?
Stuart Holden.
Really? You're going to go with Stuart Holden?
We're like the same size. And he's good looking.
I'm not seeing it.
All right. Who else? Who else could I get? Well, Patrick Vieira, because we're like the same size.
Yes, I see that. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
And look exactly the same.
Love it. Well, that's gonna kind of do it for us this week, guys. As you can see, there's just so much soccer. We had a lot more to get to, but they only allow me 1 hour here, so I think we're gonna have to wrap it up. Again, if you're in the Metro Detroit area and you're looking for a place to watch the Euro final, Italy versus England, come out to the Dow in Birmingham, Michigan, and join us tomorrow. The game kicks off at 3 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun. I want to say a big thank you to Woodward Sports and the group here. You guys do an awesome job. Adam behind the scenes, our producer. So fun to do a show with Adam. Go ahead and give the Woodward Sports socials a follow. They're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, they're on them. Thank you again to Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars FC, Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage, Superior Family Dental, and Aaron and Next Level Training. Do me a favor, go ahead and like and share the We Are Soccer social channels. Very much appreciate it there. And until next time, guys, it's coming home.